Hey, it's Greg Crow with the Catholic Worship Conference. Thanks for stopping by to check out this video on mixers aimed at our right-brained creative friends and youth ministers. So here with me today, I have a Yamaha analog mixer. And here with me today, I also have an analog KitchenAid artisan mixer. We'll often hear this referred to as the soundboard, we'll hear it referred to as the console, and we'll hear it referred to as the mixer. This guy will often hear referred to as the mixer. So because we're doing this video and aiming it really at our artists and right-brain creative people and youth ministers, I'm going to use a lot of analogies and metaphors. So this mixer operates by taking a bunch of different ingredients. Our ingredients are things like vocal microphones, acoustic guitars, keyboards, bass guitars. And it takes those ingredients and it blends them together, it mixes them together, and then puts out something that's delicious and tasty, which is wonderful sounding music. This mixer also takes ingredients, things like eggs and flour and sugar, and it mixes them all together and it outputs something delicious and tasty like pastries, which are awesome. So one of the first things we learn is we see that there are probably 100 knobs on the top of this mixing console, and I don't want for that to be something that's overwhelming or confusing for everybody. So the first thing I want to explore is what all these knobs do. And let me show you in a very clear way that it really is not a very confusing process. This, instead of being a collection of around 100 knobs, is actually a series of knobs called a channel strip or an input strip. And that input strip is replicated over and over and over. So instead of being 100 something knobs to figure out, really we're talking about a group of about 8 knobs to figure out, and then that just replicates over and over and over again. So in the case of looking at this from the perspective of having a band connected to it, one channel strip would be, say, somebody's voice or their vocal microphone. Another channel strip might be the acoustic guitar, another the keyboard, another the bass, and replicated over and over and over again. Okay? So let's connect something now to our mixer, and we're going to go from a state where nothing is currently connected, no instruments, no voices. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take our faders and make sure they're all down, and our gain knobs are all the way down. And then either have our channels muted if there's a mute button, or if there's an on button, that we have them all off. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the master fader and I'm going to bring that up to a line that's called 0. There may be a U next to it, and that indicates unity. It's the same thing. Okay? The next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and connect either the vocal microphone or the instrument that I'm connecting to the back of the mixer. Once that's done, and the guitarist has their guitar cable plugged into their guitar, or the microphone cable is plugged into the microphone, I'll ask that musician to start either singing or playing. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the channel on or turn the mute off, if that's the case, and I'm going to bring their channel fader up to 0. Once their channel fader is up to 0, and my master fader is also on 0, by the way, 0 is not the bottom. It's not all the way down. 0 means that it's at unity gain. Okay, you can see where this one's positioned. At that point, I'm going to start turning up the gain slowly until I have a good, strong, solid working signal coming out of my speakers. Once I have a good, solid signal coming out of my speakers, I'm ready to plug other devices, other ingredients, other sources into this mixer. Okay? Once I have everyone connected and I have everyone playing, then I can take these faders and I can start balancing things so that everything sounds nice. If you're getting way too much vocal out of a particular vocalist, you can turn them down a little bit. If you're getting way too much bass guitar, you can turn them down a little bit. If you need more, say, acoustic guitar in the mix, you can turn them up a little bit. So that's the basic workflow of a mixer. We take sources, ingredients, we take them into the mixer, we blend them together, and then we push them out of the output section, which is usually on the right side of the board. Not always, but usually over to the right side. That's how the mixer effectively does its job. So this is Greg with the Catholic Worship Conference on this basic overview on how to use a mixer. God bless you.